Welcome, dear Aries souls, both longtime companions and new seekers to my channel, Zodiac Talks Tarot. Today we enter a reading titled Aries, You Are One of the Chosen Ones. Many doors opening. It begins, as always, with an embrace of community, because even Aries, that fiery pioneer of the Zodiac, cannot conquer the world alone. Bold warriors need their tribe, their witnesses, their mirrors. So consider this space your gathering fire, where you are invited not only to listen but to engage, to question, and to recognize that your journey, while deeply personal, is also part of a greater constellation of human experience. The oracle speaks first through the waning moon, a symbol of endings, release, and introspection. This moon does not ask you to sprint toward the next adventure but to sit, to breathe, to measure not only what you have gained but what you have understood. Psychologically, it is the pause between chapters, the necessary silence before the next drum beat. And yes, Aries, I know patience feels like a foreign language to you. You are built to charge. Yet here lies the paradox, your greatest strength this week is not speed, but stillness. Even the chosen ones must stop long enough to recognize the landscape they have already crossed, lest they mistake arrival for departure. Transformation is at the heart of this cycle. The older versions of you, the fearful, the hesitant, the impulsively reckless, are dissolving like mist at dawn. What once seemed unreachable now inches toward your grasp, while old cravings lose their power. You are no longer at point zero. No longer the novice who stumbled into the battlefield with raw courage but little strategy. You have been forged by time, tested by both failure and victory, and now you stand at a threshold where discernment is as crucial as daring. There is a saying I often repeat, if you are no longer where you began, you are not merely trying, you are succeeding. And here is the deeper truth, Aries. The year of triumph 2025 will not be defined by how many battles you ignite, but by which victories you finally claim as your own. It is not about setting every field ablaze but about learning which fire deserves to burn. That, my friends, is wisdom, the kind that comes when passion matures into purpose. So laugh at your restlessness, honor your scars, and remember, the universe does not crown the fastest runner, but the one who knows when to run, when to pause, and when to let the path unfold beneath their steady feet. There comes a moment in every Aries journey when the universe hands you a mirror and says, look. This is not the time to sprint ahead, sword drawn, but to pause and see the reflection of who you've become. Reflection is not weakness, it is wisdom. Close the chapters that no longer serve you, let the ink dry on old stories, and prepare the page for new beginnings. And above all, do not be unjust to yourself. You've earned every scar, every laugh line, every late night doubt turned into daylight courage. Those are your credentials, Aries. The problem is, you often rush so quickly toward the summit that you forget you've already climbed half the mountain. Take a breath, savor the altitude, and realize the view you've been chasing has already begun to open before your eyes. The cards confirm this shift. The Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles together whispering the number 77, a sign of expansion. Opportunities in your career and social life will not trickle in, they'll arrive like a floodgate swinging open. But here's the secret, networking is not about business cards and forced smiles. It's about authentic connections, souls who act as keys to doors you thought would never budge. For Aries, friendships are rarely casual, they are alliances forged in fire. Right now, the right conversation, the right introduction, could carry you into circles you once believed were out of reach. Imagine walking into a room you used to only dream about, and finding not strangers, but allies waiting to welcome you. That is the power of this cycle. The universe is not simply handing you open doors, it is teaching you that the right company can turn a locked fortress into a homecoming. Life, Aries, has a curious way of presenting you with a hallway full of doors, each one polished to a shine, each one whispering your name. But here's the catch, not every open door is meant for you. Some are gilded traps, dressed up to look like destiny when in truth they lead to empty rooms. As someone who has studied both society and psychology for decades, I can assure you that temptation almost always arrives wearing the costume of opportunity. That shiny shortcut, that too good to be true promise it is bait. And you, my fiery friend, are often so eager to sprint ahead that you mistake glitter for gold. The good news? With your flame, you can burn through illusions. The condition? You must pause before charging. The warrior who rushes into every battle soon learns that not all wars are worth the scars. The Five of Pentacles then makes its appearance, casting its shadow over your reading. This card speaks of financial anxiety, of that relentless Aries tendency to demand results now. Let's be honest, you sometimes behave as though the universe owes you a Lamborghini by next Tuesday. But let me tell you, pressure like that doesn't speed up the flow, it blocks it. It's like trying to grow roses by shouting at the seeds. You can demand, you can pace, you can stress, but the soil will bloom only when the season is ready. If you keep sprinting against time, you risk slamming into a wall that patience alone would have dissolved. Yet here lies the gift. This is your training ground. The desert, harsh as it seems, is not punishment but preparation. Every great warrior has walked through it, learning endurance, patience, and humility before reaching the oasis. And so must you. Do not despise the dry season, Aries, for it strengthens your spirit. Courage is not the absence of struggle, it is choosing to continue despite it. Remember, even the chosen ones are tested not to break them, but to prove that the fire within burns brighter than any trial without. And now, Aries, the Emperor steps onto the stage of your life, a figure of power, structure, and undeniable authority. This card doesn't whisper, it declares. You are being ushered into places where only the chosen ones are allowed, the kind of rooms where decisions ripple outward and shape entire futures. Picture yourself at the VIP table of destiny, sipping cosmic champagne while sketching blueprints for empires. But don't mistake this for ego. The Emperor does not reward arrogance, he rewards alignment. What you are stepping into is not about inflating your pride but about recognizing that your growth, your discipline, and your scars have prepared you to sit in circles you once thought were far beyond your reach. Mentors, influential figures, even wise elders will appear now as living signposts on your path. They are not coincidences, they are invitations. The teacher arrives when the student is ready, and Aries, whether you know it or not, you have been preparing for this summit. Sometimes the universe hands you not a sword, but a conversation, and that conversation becomes the bridge to your next kingdom. Yet, alongside this rise, the Seven of Cups reappears, flashing its warning like a neon sign in the desert night. Not all that glitters is gold. Opportunities may crowd your table, but discernment is the banquet's true prize. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, the fastest path is rarely the straightest. Aries, your fire tempts you toward shortcuts, quick gains, flashy victories, but cheap thrills collapse under their own weight. True power is patient, built brick by brick, steady enough to last. So laugh at the illusions, bow to the wisdom of time, and remember, the empire you're building is not for a season, but for a lifetime. That is the Emperor's lesson, and it is yours to claim. Clarity, Aries, is the final note in this symphony of cards, and it could not arrive at a better time. Where confusion once clouded your judgment, light now pierces through, reminding you that vision comes not from force, but from patience. You don't need to shove destiny through the door, it already knows your address. What you need is the stillness to see it when it arrives, dressed not in fireworks but in quiet truth. And here's the great paradox, Aries, you who can conquer cities before breakfast, your greatest crown is not speed or conquest, but clarity. Think of it as a crown forged not of gold, but of understanding, humility, and yes, a touch of humor at your own restless nature. Because let's be honest, half the time you're ready to pack up your life and start over simply because the Wi-Fi was slow. But clarity asks for something different. It says, pause. Look again. The treasure you seek is already in front of you. This moment is not about running faster, it's about laughing at the absurdity of your own impatience. After all, the wise warrior doesn't just swing the sword, he waits for the right moment to strike. And patience, though it may feel unnatural to you, is your hidden superpower in the year of triumph 2025. So as Orhan closes this chapter with gratitude, promising more insights in the weeks ahead, take a moment to breathe. Aries, you are one of the chosen ones. Endings have cleared your path, new doors are opening, and both social and professional ascension are within reach. But remember, your empire will not be built on speed alone. It will last only if its foundation is wisdom, clarity, and the courage to choose the doors worthy of your fire. And now, a gentle reminder, enjoy your life. Don't treat every day as a battlefield. Some days are meant to be savored like wine, or laughed through like a comedy you didn't expect to love. Triumph does not mean grinding yourself to dust, it means living fully, passionately, and wisely. So if this message resonates with you, do me a favor, like this video, share it with a fellow Aries who might need it, and subscribe to my channel, Zodiac Talks Tarot. Together, we'll continue to explore the stars, the psyche, and the stories that remind us why even the fiercest fires burn brighter when tended with patience and care.